In fact, Tabile, before we even start, I've always thought that if your name is Tebuho or Tebuho, you suppose to be a man. So if this was the Earth, we were gonna be saying Tebuho is actually defying gravity. Good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, Preston, and how are you? It's either you are a she or he. There's no issue about it.
Oh,
Never
so
was.
so you can be a Mister or you can be a Mrs. Eh?
Yes,
No, but I'm saying in the
yes.
true sense of the word. I'm not having any other implications.
Yeah, like I'm saying, the neutral.
So today, so today we're talking, publishing, especially self-publishing. What are we talking about? What is publishing? In fact, those are two words. There is self there. There's publishing as well, Tabitha.
Mm. Yeah, today we unpacking the topic of self-publishing,
Mm,
and our is Deboho Makwane.
mm.
Um, she has self-published her book, so she will tell us more about self-publishing. But before um, she tells about before she tells us about self-publishing, we would start with first thing, as they always say, first thing first. Firstly, Debza, welcome.
Thank you so much, Tabile and Stein.
Okay, Debza, please allow me to ask you the same question I asked you last time.
Yes.
This is for the benefit of our listeners. Who is Tebogo Makwane?
Okay, so Teboho Makhani is an author. That's why I'm here today. I am a lady from Ellisrand. It's in Brits, Madibeng, in the northwest, a small town in the northwest. I am also a holistic counselor. I do motivational speaking. I'm a preacher of the Word of God. I love God. And yes, I'm just somebody that does whatever that God calls her to do. I am a radio personality and I am also doing MCing or program director work.
You sound like you are a jack of all trades.
Well, I try. I try.
So, Debza, out of curiosity,
Yes.
why do people write books? What motivates them to put pen to paper?
Uh, well, as for me, writing books is so that you put um whatever you like, your thoughts or something that you want people to read. Maybe you want to relate a message to people. And some people write books because they can't speak. They're not good with stage. They get straight stage fright, so it's better for them to put pen to paper. Some people they write books because when you write a story, it's nice when a person reads it. It's like they are in what you're doing, you're painting a picture. So there's different reasons why people write books, like that's why there's different books. Some do it to motivate or encourage people, some they do it to educate people, and just some just so that their thoughts and their work is left until like it surpasses them. Even when they are gone, their thoughts are still lives and people are still able to read it.
Okay. So basically, there are different reasons why people write books.
Yes.
So, from your perspective, what is the reasonable time for a writer to write and complete a book?
I wouldn't say there's a reasonable time. And I think it also goes to the type of publishing you want to do. I think we're going to get into that. But I think that it depends on what your book is about and how you inspired. Because of as writers, you get writer's blog, and sometimes whatever you want to say, the message keeps changing. So like I said, it will also depend on what the book is about. That's what's going to stipulate the time period that one needs to go through in order to complete their book. Because with me, with my the book that I just published last year, I started writing it from 2017 and only published it in 2022. But it was
Mm,
already finished. I already finished writing it by about 2019, yes. But I only got to publish it in 2022. So it depends what the book is about, and it may be like as time goes on, you get more inspiration and you want to add to the book.
okay.
Yes,
Okay. Let's get now into the business of the day.
yes.
What is the difference between traditional and self-publishing?
Well, with traditional publishing, I'll put it this way. It's when somebody writes a book, they submit it to the publisher. They hope that it will get accepted by the publishing house. And then the publishing house, once they accept it, then send a contract to the author. And then that's when your book is getting ready to be edited, formatted, and your the publishing house gets full rights and full royalties over your work. And then now, when you do self publishing, you write your own book and then you start the publishing process yourself. Maybe you go search, you can also include a publishing house at times and tell them, I want to self publish. And then sometimes you proof edit and format everything yourself and design everything yourself, or you can still get a publishing house to do the editing process and the design. Then you choose when you want to publish your book, and then it is you who has the full rights over your book, gets the full royalty, and then you have to market your book yourself, meaning you do everything yourself. Meanwhile, in the traditional aspect, the publishing house does everything, the marketing, the publishing, and everything, and they are the one who pay you for your work instead of you paying. And then in the self-publishing, you have to have money up front to be able to foot the bill for the whole process.
You've indicated that your book uh, is self-published.
Yes.
So the question is, why did you opt for self-publishing?
With traditional, at times, I mean, not at times, with traditional, they have the right over the book. So it means they can even dictate how your book has to be. They have full control. They can even tell you, like, no, remove this, add this. Like, they have control over your work, and you don't have total control over it. And you're not even sure if your book is going to be sold or bought. And so with self, the reason why I chose self-publishing is because, as I stated, that I'm also doing motivational speaking and emceeing work. It also helps me market myself, have something, a product that I can go with when I do my motivational talks or I MC. Then I have something that I can sell or show people that I'm doing something. And also the fact that I have full control on how I want my book to look, the design, the layout, everything, and when I want it to be sold and where I want it to be sold. And so with traditional, they were the ones who were going to tell me how it's sold, when, and everything. So I wanted full control over my work. And that is why I did self publishing.
So as a self-published author,
Yes.
what challenges do you encounter?
The first challenges is finances. If you don't have the finances, it's very challenging. That is why it took me so long, such a gap from 2017 to 2022 to be able to finally have my book printed and published and everything. So the first thing is money, because you have to have money to be able to do the whole process and print your books. The other one is, will it be sold? Will people buy it? So that's the other challenge that you get, that at times you sit with books, they are not being bought. And the other thing is when they are being bought, they're not all bought at the same time. So like you can't really keep track of the money that you are making. So those are some of the challenges that as a self-publisher I've encountered.
Many readers are skeptical to buy self-published
Yes.
books, except from authors they know or who have a name.
Mm.
Do you know why readers are reluctant to buy self-published books?
Because with published houses, they are already known most of the time, and they are deemed to be reliable because they've already been in the market, and they wouldn't just print any book because of just wanting to print a book. So that's why people trust traditionally books that you find in bookstores. And because with traditional, most of the, I mean, with self-publishing, most of the time you don't find the books in the big bookstores that are known. And then with uh like I've as as a co-author or as an author in the industry, I've read some of the books that are self-published, and you could see that the editing, some people didn't take time through doing their editing process. The book is not like in up to standard to a point where a person would feel that it was worth them spending their money with the book. And some self-published books, yeah, like so it's hard to trust a person that you don't know in anything in the world. So with the books and having to spend your money, that is why people are very skeptical with buying books from self-published authors. And hence I said for me, it helps me because I'm already in the public space and people are familiar with my work and with my face. So maybe that is why it's easier for them to buy. And some because um, they get attracted by the cover of the book or what I say is in the book, and they get intrigued to know more about what's in the book.
I am a publisher myself,
Yes.
so I receive many manuscripts.
Yeah.
Them are poorly written.
Mm,
Some are a rushed job.
yes.
What what can be done to improve that?
I always say, with like people love doing self-publishing and then they skip other aspects of the publishing process because they don't want to pay money. And I've seen it with a lot of books, especially with people in the, can I say, the Christian or motivational domain, is that a publisher, and I think you know this, publishers will help you be able to do the proofreading, do the editing, do the layout at a fee. So some people don't even want to go through that. They just believe whatever I wrote is okay. And with writing a book, it's not just you putting words on paper or pen to paper. It's about, is it like the grammar? Is it flowing? Is the book going from one chapter to another? And if it's printed, will it make sense? So people are rushing just so that they have something to say, I'm an author, and want to sell and make money, but forgetting that your product represents you. Your product is something that a person is should be able to say that this was worth me spending my money. So yeah, I think people need to know that even when you're doing self-publishing, well, I would say my 2 cents of advice is go through the whole publishing process, even though you are doing it yourself and having full rights over it.
Marketing
Yes.
and distribution are some of the challenges confronting
Mm.
self-publishing. What would be your advice to self-publishers?
Yo, don't self-publish if you don't have an audience. if you don't have a market. I think that's one thing. But the other thing, trust your work, believe in yourself, believe. I think with me, maybe because of my books are more spiritual books, I would say I trust in God and trust that whatever He told me to put out there, it's something that He already has a market for. He has a target for it, and He already has people He wants that book to reach. But you need to trust in your work, and you need to put in the time and effort, and be patient also with yourself, knowing that it might take time. But then once you keep marketing it, do it, social media, you need to be visible. You need to keep advertising your product, social media. If you can, go to the other media houses, the newspaper, radio station, do whatever you can to always spread the word about your book so that people will know that your book exists and what it's about. So it's hard work. It takes time. It wants you to be patient, and not all. Some days are better than others, but for me, I feel like it's fulfilling, and uh, it is better for me to have. I mean, I chose the right option, self-publishing, because, like I said, I'm able to always have my product in hand and see that truly people are buying it and not just laying there in bookstores.
Self-publishing is a new phenomenon in
Mm,
South Africa, especially amongst blacks.
yes.
Do you think South Africans understand it? If so, are they taking advantage of it?
I don't know if they understand it, but I know that I'm seeing a lot of people who are self-publishing. I'm seeing a lot of people who now have their books on hand and selling it themselves. But I don't know, like I said, like you also stated that as a publisher, you are seeing a lot of errors, you're seeing rush jobs. So I think people are just excited that they are able to have their own book, that they don't take time to study the market and be able to understand fully what they are going through. And some even give up along the way because now their books are not being sold. So I think more education still needs to be put in so that our fellow Africans and South African people will understand what it means to self publish and the benefits and also the disadvantages of it so that they do it with the full knowledge and understanding.
Debza, as they always say, time is the enemy.
Yeah.
So we have to end it here. Thank you very much for gracing our show with your presence. We are hoping that we'll have you some other time again, maybe on a different topic or on your upcoming book.
Yes, thank you so much, VMC. Thank you, Ntate Tabile and Ntate Stan. Thank you for always considering me. I feel so privileged that I'm called back for the second time. That means the first time I didn't do so bad. So thank you so much for the opportunity. And I believe that your listeners have learned something. And I think the last thing is that self-publishing is not a get rich quick scheme. So please, you you need to be patient. And yeah, from me, I say I just want to thank you for the opportunity and the platform that you are giving me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. That was Teboho and Tabile right here at VMC Planet Radio talking about self-publishing. Thank you so very much. We are VMC Planet Radio. We are on the internet. We are on the internet. We are worldwide web. It's www.vmcplanetradio.co.za. And from outside of South Africa, it's +2062450861.